Hi everybody, I want to spend a few moments just telling you what's happening around St John's, but also specifically to update you on where we're at as the COVID-19 restrictions are lifted. As you may know, currently we are only allowed to have 50 people on site at any one time. That's not just in one building, but actually across the whole site. In addition, there are certain protocols that we've got to follow. Sanitizing on entry, maintaining a distance of 1.5 meters at all times, recording the names and contact details of all attendees, and no congregational singing. Now, I've spoken to several of you, also consulted with other senior ministers and with the staff team here. And as a result of that, then the wardens and the parish council and I have decided that we won't recommence our services here until that restriction of 50 is lifted to 100 people. So that will hopefully enable us to have an extra amount of time for most of us to feel more confident in returning to church, to allow families to better gather together with adults in one building and kids in other buildings, and also for us hopefully to be able to be singing again. So when that restriction is lifted, it will feel a lot more like church services used to, and it'll be easier for us to gather together. Now, I'm hopeful that we'll be able to do that at the start of term 3. And in the meantime, online services will continue. Now, even with 100 people on site, we still can't, if everybody turns up to church as they have done before, we still can't get everybody in the building across 3 services. So we are looking at other arrangements. Now, to that end, it will be great to know from you, are you prepared to come back to church under these circumstances? And if so, what is your preferred service? What time would you like? So we're going to send out a brief survey on Monday that will ask you those questions. If you could return that as soon as you can, that would be helpful to us. Now, some things are, however, starting up again, and I'm delighted to say that Excite and Extol, so our Friday evening kids and youth groups, will be starting next Friday on the 19th. Our coordinators and leaders have been doing a great job in maintaining these groups online, but they are really raring to go and looking forward to doing that on site again. So details will be sent out to parents as to how exactly that will work, because as I said, there will be certain protocols that we'll have to follow. Just in relation to that, SMOG, so that's our high school group that you would usually meet on Sunday mornings, they are organising a bushwalk and lunch now following Sunday on the 21st. So if that relates to you, then look out for an email that will come out from Virginia this coming week. In addition, growth groups can now meet again. This is such an answer to prayer. You would have seen that announcement made yesterday that 20 people can now go and gather as guests in somebody's home. So that will enable our growth groups to meet again in people's houses. Again, our leaders will be doing a fantastic job in running these by Zoom over the last 3 months. And that will continue if the groups desire, but they will also be able to meet again physically. Now, if you're not yet a member of a group but would like to be one, then this would be a great time in which to join one. So please send an email to the office if you would like to do so. Now, I know that these 12 weeks have been a tough time for many, and you have been very patient so far in waiting for things to pick up again, and I want to thank you for that. But you know, it hasn't all been bad news. And I'd like to hand you now to Anne, our care pastor, as she feeds back some results of our recent care survey.